Tonight on News 5 Live, the opposition leader weighs in on the stunning loss in Toledo East. Is Shine Barrow fit to continue leading the UDP? A pair of policemen granted steep bail after being charged for murder. And another retired police officer is given 22 years for rape. These stories and more coming up on News 5 Live.
This plan, I can't leave this plan. Smart Belize!
Hey there, smart thinkers! We're turbocharging your mobile experience with Smart's powered up postpaid plans. Imagine a world where your data speeds flows faster than ever. Well, guess what? We've cranked up the dial and unleashed the postpaid power of Smart's lightning fast LTE data on all our postpaid plans. That's right, no speed bumps, more data. It's like having a limitless highway of data speed at your fingertips. Whether you're a Lone Ranger with an individual plan or a squad rolling with a group plan, everyone gets to surf, stream, and share at enhanced, full, high-quality speed. Switch to Smart's powered-up postpaid plans today and ride the wave of postpaid power. Visit any Smart showroom or smart-bz.com for details and make your mobile experience smarter and faster. Smart, bringing people together.
I know I can't leave this plan. I can't leave this plan.
Watch The Truth of God with Pastor Gino Jennings of the First Church of Our Lord Jesus Christ every Sunday morning at 8 a.m. exclusively on Channel 5 Belize. The Truth of God with Pastor Gino Jennings every Sunday at 8 a.m. on Channel 5 Belize.
My name is Waluko Mejia. I'm the General Manager at Copal Tree Lodge here in Toledo, Belize. The Belize Bank service we appreciate most is the Belize Bank ATM and the use of its debit card. It makes it very accessible for our employees here at Copal Tree Lodge. Essentially, they could access the ATM on their way home after work, and also that the local stores accept the use of a debit card.
Vote for your favorite KTV contestant by texting the number of votes followed by a space, then your contestant's number, and send it to Smart Code 5885. Here are this week's contestants.
You made me a believer. I'm holding on as you lead me the right way. And now that I'm here with you, que se ha pasado el tiempo en que los años marcan mi cara. When we're tired of all the lies and the pain we feel inside, we want to make it right.
Not someone who has seen the light. It's a cold and it's a broken hallelujah.
let your name be lifted up forever.
Remember, voting ends on Sunday at midnight. And don't forget to tune in every Tuesday night at 8 for KTV The Remix Season 6. Live only on 5.
Good evening. Welcome to News 5 Live for Friday, July 19th. I am Elise Gayon Vernon. Leader of the opposition, Moses Shine Barrow, has broken his silence 2 days after the United Democratic Party experienced a historic defeat at the polls in Toledo East. As we have reported, Dr. Osman Martinez secured 70% of the ballots cast on Wednesday. The United Democratic Party has never lost that badly in the constituency. We tried speaking with the opposition leader on Wednesday night at the counting station, but he avoided the media and left the area hours before the counting was concluded. Today, he called a press conference to answer some questions. The first was, what happened? Barrow predicted a blowout victory for the United Democratic Party in the by-election. But as we now know, that was not the case. He made a similar prediction for the municipals in March that also did not come to pass. So, is Barrow deluding himself into thinking the UDP is battle ready? Here is how he responded to that question.
It is not the outcome that we hope for, but I thank the candidate and his team for putting forward a brilliant effort. I congratulate Osman Martinez and his team. They did what they had to do, and the people decided that it is Mr. Martinez that they want to represent them in the House of Representatives. As the leader of this great United Democratic Party, I have a responsibility to project confidence. I have a responsibility to fight for every seat. There is not one seat that I can just say, we will lie down. Certainly, there were many factors that led to a pathway to victory. But in politics, what you see and what you get don't always correlate. But the fact that there was a division, we all know there was a division within the People's United Party, split in three ways. You had the Galvez faction that, he wants to be area rep. You had the Melhem Espat faction, where they were totally devastated by the convention loss, similar to Elvi Vega, where she's railing up on the Facebook right now saying that, she was shafted. And so those divisions were very real. And it was our hope, where we've seen a collaboration with those forces be fruitful before, as with the municipal elections, because the results in municipal elections were not like this. We actually won the first recount for the mayor and then lost by 20. So, it was a different candidate. And we cannot discount the fact that you have a government with millions of dollars in resources. We helped thousands of people in Toledo East. I could tell you that for a fact. School papers, medical bills, all types of help that the people desperately need. But the government has the power to triple that, to quadruple that. But, nobody owes anybody a vote.
Opposition leader Moses Shine Barrow was also asked if the party's recent defeat at the polls affects his credibility to lead the UDP to victory in the upcoming general elections. He pointed back to the losing days of the People's United Party, while contending that the pendulum has swung in the Briceño administration's favor. However, Barrow is confident that UDP will soon have its turn back in the office. He was also asked if he thought about resigning after witnessing the results of the Toledo East by-election.
How do you think this loss affects your credibility as a leader to lead United Democratic Party to victory in the general elections?
It is really absurd to me that the leader whose name is not on the ballot, you're asking me about me before you ask me about the candidate. So what you're saying...
whose fault is it? Is it your fault or the candidate's fault?
It is, we all share the burden. But what I'm telling you is politics is about time. So we are in opposition. John Briceño lost. Francis Fonseca lost 3 terms, 3 consecutive terms, 2008, 2012, and 2015. It is normal. Dean Barrow, the Right Honorable, I think the greatest Prime Minister we've ever had, lost 2 consecutive terms, 98 and 2005. It is 2003. It is par for course, right?
So then UDP will continue to lose?
Sir, it is a matter of time. UDP will continue to fight. I don't look at it the way you look at it. I am resilient. I am focused. The issues are there, but we have to keep fighting this idea. The historical pattern, the historical data is 2 terms. For the PUP, it was 3 terms that they had to wait for the pendulum to swing. The pendulum swung in their way, and we have to fight every day to swing it back. This idea, no matter who you put in the seat, it will still be a matter of time. No one else that wanted to be in the seat had the resources to fight. None of them.
Did you consider or contemplate resignation?
Absolutely not. That is absurd. That is ridiculous. I am not John Briceño. I'm not going to quit on my party. I am a fighter. I'm going to keep fighting. That is one constituency. That is not a reflection of the wider party.
Opposition leader Barrow went on to explain that he funded the UDP candidate's entire campaign from his personal coffers. On the other hand, there are suggestions that Williams did not present himself as a candidate prepared to win the by-election. Unlike his opponent, Williams was not easily accessible to the media. Some may argue that he was not even accessible to voters. He was either too busy running errands or avoiding the spotlight. Today, Barrow revealed that while he and Williams now share a close friendship, he initially supported former PG Mayor Ashton McKenzie to run in Toledo East. He contended that it was Patrick Faber and John Saldivar who trusted Williams into the position.
I did everything. I spent every dollar. Every dollar. When I reached out to donors, they said, Shine, general elections, man, coming big. But by-election, how are you going to ask us for by-election money? And that's a PUP seat. That seat was won during Dean Barrow's time. So I said, okay, no problem. And I took a significant amount of the reserves that I have, and I made it available to the candidate and to the team.
So you financed the campaign with your personal fortune?
Personal fortune. And that is my responsibility, to make sure that every dollar is provided and that there's accountability for the dollars. And I did that, and the rest was up to the candidate, to the campaign manager, Cranca Polonio, who's very popular there, as he was the candidate that we fielded for the municipals. So I gave everybody what they needed, because then I don't want to be accused of taking over and doing things my way. Whatever finance was asked for, the finance was provided. But let me say again, so that you understand, you know, Brother Disho is a friend and a brother, and you know, all he has to do is learn from this, pick himself up, look in the mirror and see everything that went wrong, and if he feels that he has an opportunity there, he'll keep working and keep going, because the pendulum swings. The candidate has to be able to convince the people that he is the person that they want.
How was the candidate selected?
The candidate was elected in an endorsement convention. The application process was open. And then let me tell you this. You want to talk about the candidate? It was John Saldiva and Patrick Farber that came together to put that candidate there as caretaker. That is my friend and brother now, so I am not distancing myself from him. But I'm just telling you, everybody wants to criticize the candidate and throw the candidate under the bus now. When I was supporting Ashton Mackenzie, we went to a constituency meeting, and John Saldiva and Patrick Farber came together and they elected Brother Disho.
Finally, from the leader of the opposition, reporters once again challenged him on his fitness to be the leader of the UDP. Reports are that there have been calls from among the party's leadership and supporters for his removal. Barrow says that is all propaganda created by those who want to replace him as party leader.
That is propaganda. I
Yes,
reject that
I continue
completely.
to hear it, sir.
No, you hear that from people that want to be leader. You hear that from people in the United Democratic
that from
Party
regular
that
people.
want to. No, you don't. You hear that from their supporters and them.
You know,
The pendulum
nobody
has swung.
believes in
The
your leadership.
pendulum has swung. Do not do that.
But it
That is a
continues to
propaganda, sir. That is a propaganda
Sir, I hear this
narrative.
black and
You
white.
hear this from people that have been ousted from the party, people that my
Well, there are a lot
father,
of those.
people that, and when we don't do it, you call them corpses and you say, how do you keep these people around? But then when I do it and it's reform, it's not reform, it's I the beef with everybody. There's some people that have to go. And when those people go, then they sit around and they pray for the downfall of the party and they badmouth us and they give you all of this misinformation. We are rebuilding. We are rebuilding. So I would never tell you that I am Dean Barrow. I would never tell you that I am Manuel Esquivel. I could never tell you that. We are rebuilding. We are in our second leader in 3.5 years, and we are rebuilding. We have to convince the people, we as a collective, there is no one more suited to lead this party than me at this time. Because if they
When
were,
you're saying
if
that
they
there was
were,
some that
no,
would-
but then you could talk to, you could, I showed you, I shared information with you, with some of the people that have been my most outstanding critics, singing my praises because they were on the ground, they were working. We have made a decision, but this constant bickering on the sidelines, this constant attempt to pollute the media with a narrative that singles out one person rather than a collective shouldering of the responsibility to rebuild a mass party.
Coming up, will the introduction of e-buses push out stakeholders in public transportation?
Hello, friends. I'm Dr. Bob Roberts with another 60-second sermon from God's Word.
The Bible says that Barnabas and Paul were men that hazarded their lives, or literally risked their lives for the name of our Lord Jesus Christ. Today in the church, we have too many professors and not enough possessors. Too many who talk the talk, but who do not walk the walk. Too many who have been whitewashed, but not washed white. Too many who want a kind of alimony from God without any allegiance to God. Too many who are willing to take, but not willing to give. Too many spiritual profiteers who are willing to serve God as long as it does not cost them anything. We need more people with the attitude of David, who said he would not offer to God that which cost him nothing. Paul and Barnabas were some of the first missionaries the church sent out, but it was not without a price or a sacrifice. They hazarded their life for the name of Jesus and sharing the gospel. During the Iraqi war in the spring of 2003, I read the story of Chris Carter, who saw an Iraqi woman on a bridge who was about to be killed. Without thought of personal safety, he left his Bradley fighting vehicle and dashed onto the bridge to bring the Iraqi woman to safety and stand guard over her with his M16A4 rifle as she was placed into an ambulance by medics to be given medical attention. God give us risk takers in the church with equal passion to share the gospel with a world on the very brink of destruction.
Today's 60-second sermon has been presented by Christian Foundations of Faith in cooperation with the Baptist churches in your area.
I'm connected. Yo.
I'm connected.
We're connected.
Create the perfect broadband bundle that fits your style with Smart Connect. With the Junior Bundle, get 50% off your national calls and up to 6 gigabytes of data at no extra cost. Get postpaid added for an additional cost of only $25 with the Prime Bundle. Stay connected with unlimited smart-to-smart calls plus 6,300 megabytes of data and free international minutes. For the family, pay $28.13 more and get the Binge Watchers bundle with Netflix. This bundle gives you 4 profiles with unlimited streaming on multiple devices. Visit a showroom near you to sign up and personalize your own bundle combination with Smart Connect. Smart, bringing people together.
The Elections and Boundaries Department presents the following information on transfer of electors.
Transfer of electors is conducted during the period 1st July to 31st August of each year. In accordance with Section 59(1) of the General Provisions of the Representation of the People Act, Chapter 9, where a registered person changes his place of residence from one division to another, he shall, after he has resided for a minimum period of 2 months at his new address, give written notice thereof in Form 17 of the 5th Schedule to the registering officer of the division in which he now resides. Therefore, electors who have changed addresses from one electoral division to another shall visit the Elections and Boundaries Registration Office in their new division to apply for transfer. To facilitate the process, electors are encouraged to bring along a picture ID such as voter's identification card, social security card, driver's license, or passport. The Elections and Boundaries Department takes this opportunity to encourage persons who have attained the age of 18 years or over and others who have not yet re-registered since 2nd July 2018 to visit the Elections and Boundaries Registration Office in the Electoral Division where they reside and apply to be registered. To become a registered elector, every person shall be 18 years of age or over and is a citizen of Belize or is a citizen of any Commonwealth country who has ordinarily resided in Belize for a period of not less than 12 months and is a resident for a period of not less than 2 months in the electoral division in which he seeks registration.
Remember, you have a civic duty to ensure that you are registered in the electoral division where you reside. This message is brought to you by the Elections and Boundaries Department.
Get ready, Belize City! The new e-buses will finally take to the streets on Monday. Earlier today, the Belize City Council, the United Nations Development Program, and other government ministries officially launched the e-bus service in the downtown area. The ushering in of this environmentally friendly mode of transportation aligns with the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development and comes as a green alternative to public transportation. News 5, Isani Cayetano reports.
The introduction of electric buses to the local transportation landscape has been long in the making. It was part of a campaign promise leading up to the second term of the Wagner administration at City Hall. A pair of e-buses eventually came into the country earlier this year, just ahead of the March municipals. Today, they were officially welcomed to the streets of the old capital.
Today, man, I'm so excited. I'm being able to see this new transformative effort in the transport system coming to fruition. That is enough for me. It will be transformative for the residents of the city. That is the key area here, the impact, the positive impact that it will have on our residents.
Electric buses offer several advantages for both transit agencies and commuters. These vehicles produce zero tailpipe emissions, contributing to better air quality and reducing harmful gas emissions, which is critical for a municipality like Belize City that can be overburdened by pollution.
As you know, we have an obligation to reduce our carbon footprints. We just experienced a major concern with Hurricane Beryl. Thank God it didn't hit Belize. But as you all know, the effects on climate change is really drastic. And so these buses are low emission, low carbon emission buses, contrary to the ones we have running. And so the expectation is that it will contribute positively towards our environment, towards the air and low carbon emissions.
Electric buses are highly efficient and have lower operating costs than diesel buses. Fuel savings are significant when comparing electricity with diesel, making these e-buses an economically viable option.
Another key milestone includes the development of a cohesive low-carbon transport electromobility strategy in 2023, which assesses the short to medium-term market potential and readiness to roll out EVs in Belize. This draft strategy aims to update the national regulatory framework to support EV uptake, increase the supply of electric vehicles at the national level, develop charging infrastructure, and improve knowledge and skills in this new technology.
E-buses have fewer moving parts compared to diesel buses, which significantly reduces the maintenance costs. This translates to cost savings over the lifespan of the vehicles. Overall, electric buses enhance the commuter experience by providing a greener, quieter, and more cost-effective mode of transportation.
The ride, the amenities that it has there, AC, the Wi-Fi, just having a different feeling. It's a clean feeling, and compared to where we were, this is significant for Belize City.
In an urban setting, electric motors operate more quietly than combustion engines, contributing to a quieter environment. EV charging infrastructure attracts regional travelers, benefiting local businesses and generating revenue. The charging depot at the corner of Dean and Regent Streets is equipped with two 220-volt chargers that are able to charge both e-buses.
It takes about an hour to an hour and a half. Oh, that's quick. Yes. Yeah. Well, that is the idea, right? So that the buses can turn around quickly and go to the respective stops and provide the service. You know, that is what we want. We want an efficient service so that the people of the residents of Belize City can be confident in this new service.
The bus service begins on July 22nd. Reporting for News 5, I am Isani Cayetano.
The past few weeks have seen concerns being raised by at least one bus company that has been operating in Belize City for several decades. The operator of that business believes that he is being boxed out of the industry with the advent of the new e-buses, and despite assurances from Citco, maintains that the company's bottom line will be negatively affected. Mayor Bernard Wagner told reporters this morning that City Hall cannot be consumed with the issues of one stakeholder.
We are not looking to push anybody out. It's about inclusivity. It's about engaging, but it has to be a situation where you look out for the best interests of your residents. I can't be concerned about the private sector driven entity, I have to be concerned about 60 to 70,000 people that live in my city. And my city has been calling for years that they want this sort of transformation in the transport system. And I'm so glad that we are finally here. It's a pilot project, and I continue to dwell on it that it's a pilot project. Let us see what the data shows. You will get the financial model, you will get the operational model, right? You will get how the entire system work. And thereafter, many of the bus operators that are here that are making this ruckus could now have in hand the sort of data to know go to the financial institutions. The financial institution want data. They will not invest or provide financing to any entity if there is not enough data to back the risk.
The cost efficiency in operating these new electric buses cannot be overstated. According to the Minister of Energy, the vehicles take a little over an hour to fully charge, and the cost to Citco, Mayor Wagner, is only $80 per bus each day.
Our buses, it takes about 80 Belize dollars to fully charge, and it gives us a span for the entire day. Now compare that to the gas buses. I believe the gas buses to fill up in the morning would run them about $300 to $400, and by midday they probably need to refill again. The cost savings of e-mobility to any aspiring entrepreneur is significant. And so instead of fighting this sort of new model, bus owners should be embracing it and looking at how it would be in terms of their margin. It will substantially change their margins. And so when we say $3, $2 for the students and $1 for the golden citizen, it's just to ensure that we are able to provide this service in the outset for our residents.
Are you concerned with their concerns that they feel like they're being pushed out?
Of course, that is always a concern for everyone, but that is not the case. There's room for everybody in this project, and what we want is the best possible buses for the residents of Belize City.
After the break, Ministry of Sustainable Development responds to APAMO. But first, here's the weather update with data from the National Meteorological Service.
We had a show for you. The biggest food and music festival returns on Sunday, July 28th with the first of its kind day party as the Belize Tourism Board, Maj Production, the Alaya Resort, Niche, eCash, the San Pedro Town Council, PAC, Border Management Agency, and Bellicate Ultra presents the Belize International Music and Food Festival 3.0, the ultimate day party. On day 2 of this mega festival, we give to you the Belize Latin Explosion Combo Group and our very own Punta Rock Legends Combo Group, taking us back with sounds like. We also feature Belizean soca greats like Echo Middleton and the soca Dandada, T.R. Shine. To help make this ultimate day party memorable, we invite Miss Rage herself, Faye-Ann Lyons, and the Viking of soca himself, Bunji Garlin. Alongside the soca dance instructor, Curran DuBois. But wait, to top this momentous festival we have, for the very first time in Belize, Latin super sensation Prince Royce. Belize
July 28, 2024, San Pedro, Sacachispas Field. Come savor the rhythm. For info and tickets, check us out at bimff.bz or get tickets on the eCash app, powered by Belize Bank, or use the QuickPass app, available at your Play Store on all Android and Apple devices. Doors open 2 p.m. for showtime at 3 p.m. Sunday, July 28, 2024, the Belize International Music and Food Festival 3.0. Come savor the rhythm. Sponsored by Belize Tourism Board, eCash, San Pedro Town Council, PAC, Niche, Pelican Ultra, Border Management Agency, The Alaya Resort, Honorable Andrew Paris, Travelers, ICB, Digicel, Dolphin Production, Wine Smith, Angelus Press, Tropic Air, Modisco, Maya Anand Air, Hits Media, Love FM, Channel 5, Courts, San Pedro Belize Express, Smart, and Channel 7.
Tell me, what about Aona today?
I recently did a Red Girl video. I get more views than Harriet. And you know one person had the nerve to post that I not even a Red Girl? I mean, like, what that mean anyway?
Well, here what about me? Every time I go buy meat pie, and I go, so, nothing in there. Nothing. So this is my issue. I over 18, and I want known artist. And you could believe Mama still expect me for wash dishes? We don't get time for that. I don't prefer dishes. Yes.
And you, sir?
Well, I don't really got their kind of problems, you know. Ever since I switched to DJ and signed up for my unlimited postpaid plan, life stress-free. Nothing but me or my connection no more.
Vote for your favorite KTV contestant by texting the number of votes followed by a space, then your contestant's number, and send it to smart code 5885. Here are this week's contestants.
You made me a believer. I'm holding on as you lead me the right way. And now that I'm here with you, que se ha pasado el tiempo en que los años marcan mi cara. When we're tired of all the lies and the pain we feel inside, we want to make it right.
Not someone who will see the light. It's a cold and it's a broken hallelujah. Oh yes you have. And all my life you have been so good.
You're the one that brought me through. Yeah, never would have made it.
How great thou art. How great thou art.
Be exalted, let your name be lifted up forever.
Remember, voting ends on Sunday at midnight. And don't forget to tune in every Tuesday night at 8 for KTV The Remix Season 6. Live only on 5.
Upcoming enhancements to My Social Security. The new healthcare provider feature seamlessly connects healthcare providers, insured persons, and employers to facilitate the payment of sickness benefits. Here are the enhancements. Registered healthcare providers will create and submit online medical certificates using their healthcare provider accounts. Insured persons will receive a link to view the medical certificate to complete and submit their sickness benefit claim. And employers will receive an email notification of their employee's sickness claim. Also, the insured person and their employer will receive a copy of the claim decision letter after review. Healthcare providers, insured persons, and employers are encouraged to create a portal account to access and benefit from these new services on My Social Security at ssbportal.org.bz. My Social Security online portal. Social Security at your fingertips.
2 policemen charged for the murder of Orange Walk resident Deandra Chi in March 2023 have been granted bail of $20,000 each when they appeared before Justice Derek Sylvester earlier today. Viewers would recall that the shooting death of Chi sparked public outrage in the officer-involved incident. Chi was shot and killed while riding a motorcycle and being pursued by the policeman. Attorney Richard Dickey Bradley has been instrumental in the case and gave a synopsis of what took place in court.
A little over a year ago, there was a sensational killing in Orange Walk town in which a person, a passenger on a motorcycle, had been shot by police officers and fatally shot, and there were major protests in regards to the matter because there had been previous killings by police of persons in Orange Walk in suspect circumstances. But be that as it may, the 2 police officers, Solomon Kowo and Esmin Flores, were charged for murder 4 days after that shooting. And they, in fact, were given disclosure only about maybe 2 months ago, and they agreed to proceed to a preliminary inquiry without legal representation. And so a preliminary inquiry was held, and their matter would normally end up on the list for the September cases, not necessarily for a trial. And there are many more cases before then. But it had concluded on the preliminary inquiry and is now basically heading for the High Court in Orange Walk jurisdiction. Being police officers, they are a bit familiar with the law. They were able to reach out to the legal aid services where former prosecutor Shireen Rodriguez, and I think she was a former magistrate. I remember going to San Pedro in front of her. And today her boss, the director of the legal services, Peter Gay, Hewlett Bradley, was in court. The matter is this, that today for us attorneys on the defense side marks a significant step forward. This is a huge development in the sense that the Honorable Justice Derek Sylvester was the judge that the matter of an application for bail for persons who are accused of murder. He has been hearing this matter. Today is not the first day. This has been before the judge for a couple of weeks, and he has in fact directed that they make certain submissions, written submissions. This is the court of record, this is not magistrate court. And today His Lordship brought a very lengthy written decision.
Today, Doris Grant was due in court once again, but did not make an appearance to stand for her charges. However, being that the police forgot to make a request for her removal from the Belize Central Prison, the case was adjourned. Grant was arraigned on May 20th, 2024 on 14 counts of theft, 14 counts of obtaining property by deception, and 12 counts of obtaining money transfer by deception. Allegations are that between the period of January 1st, 2022 and July 2022, by either deception by money transfer or obtaining property by deception or through theft, Grant stole over $121,000. No plea was taken from her, and Grant was due back in court on those theft-related offenses today. Grant's attorney, Ronald Gonzalez, was surprised that his client was not brought down and only learned of her absence when he was heading to court this morning on the matter. Grant and her common-law husband, Austin Underwood, were both previously remanded to the Belize Central Prison after being charged with being a member of a gang and were held further under the state of emergency for an additional 60 days. Today, a man was handed a 20-year sentence, an additional 22-year sentence, after being convicted for the rape of his stepdaughter and sexual assault on separate occasions. As the sentences are to run concurrently, the 66-year-old retired sergeant of police will spend 22 years behind bars. During mitigation, no one spoke on the offender's behalf. Additional aggravating factors included the young age of the victim and his relation to the child. On that day, when he was found guilty, the offender arrived at court an hour late for his verdict and arrived moments before the judge was about to execute a bench warrant for his arrest. The stepfather had been allowed to continue on his bail until the day he was convicted of the crime. On Thursday, the Association of Protected Areas Management Organizations, APAMA, held a press conference to voice complaints about proposals made by the Ministry of Sustainable Development and Climate Change. On June 25th, the organization sent a 7-page letter to the ministry voicing these complaints. However, they were met with no response. That is until today. We spoke with CEO Kenrick Williams, who told us that the complaints from APAMA have been heard and that the ministry is working carefully to address them.
After weeks of going unheard by the Ministry of Sustainable Development and Climate Change, the complaints made by the Association of Protected Areas Management Organizations are being addressed. On Thursday, APAMA held a press conference to reiterate concerns previously outlined in a 7-page letter to the ministry that went unanswered. Today, the CEO, Kenrick Williams, says that they have been heard loud and clear. He explains that the ministry is currently revising strategies to strengthen collaborations and facilitation between the government and co-managers. However, he acknowledges the need for clear communication between the parties at all stages of the process.
We came with an initial consultations, initial engagement to say to the co-managers, this is what government is looking at. Let's give us some initial feedback. No, I recognize that maybe the approach, maybe the timeline, the notification, definitely some gaps in the communication from our side, and we acknowledge that. And so we are going to continue to make sure that as we go through this process is really just the start. You know, this is not the final draft and say, here you go, give me your input, what are you fitting at this? This is the first part. This is what we are contemplating as a government, to address all of those things: the coordination, the collaboration, ensuring that we get the financial investment, ensuring that government is able to meet its part of the bargain, and ensure that there is transparency and accountability on all parts of the partnership.
Among the complaints voiced were difficulties in accessing funding and resources from the government. Eli Miller, Managing Director of Monkey Bay Wildlife Sanctuary, highlighted how this challenge affected fire relief efforts earlier this year.
We had a lot of fires this year, and I will say it's going to happen again. We're going to have the consistent hotter, drier conditions coming, and as we've discussed with some of the ministers and the coordinator for NEMO, the best capacity for fire suppression and fire management in Belize rests with our co-management entities. They have rangers who deal with fire on an annual basis, and that's where the knowledge lies. That's how we're going to be able, those people are going to be able to transcribe that knowledge to the communities, those who don't already have it, and we can be a better country for it. We can manage our fire situation better. And that doesn't happen without some kind of support from government and some leadership as well.
According to the ministry, PACT has since provided $461,000 in emergency support for fire management. However, Apama noted the difficulties in accessing grants over the past 2 years. Williams says that PACT and the ministry are working towards a solution.
PACT itself and its partners has been trying to see how we are targeted in the investment. So we've created a conservation investment program. That has been, we've been working with the protected areas co-managers over the last 2 years to try to ensure that, again, the point is that we have limited money. And so we have to make sure that we have the type of impact that we want to create from those investments. So we're changing the way how we do that. That indeed has been taking some time. We've been working closely with the co-managers. We've been working closely with the government partners, but that has largely been slow. The board recently took a decision that we need to fast track that process, and so we're going to be providing about $1 million in bridge financing in the next 2 weeks or so in order to get some investments on the ground.
Williams also maintains that the intention of the changes is not to micromanage the work of the co-managers, but rather improve the relationship between parties involved.
There are responsibilities on both parts. Government as a regulatory agency have to make sure that there's accountability, there's transparency, there's reporting. Right now that is a framework that is missing, right? We are not reporting against funds collected. We are not, I cannot be able to go out and say our protected areas report against this or leverage this amount of money to the system. I know one figure put out was about 16 million, but there's no clear report. We, government and co-managers, have not been able to come together and say, this is the type of impact we're having on the ground collectively and nationally. The intent, therefore, is not to micromanage, is to improve how we do things.
Brittany Gordon for News 5.
When we return, a house for a single mother, Heidi Rivas.
We see Jennifer scrolling through her phone, searching for job listings. A fraudulent posting catches her eyes, promising a dream opportunity. Excited but unaware, she applies. Jennifer arrives at the job site for an interview, a seemingly legitimate office building. Jennifer is told she is accepted for the job but needs to travel to a different location. She is taken to a remote location in a vehicle. Fear sets in as she realizes the truth behind the facade. Jennifer is taken to an isolated house. In a dimly lit room, Jennifer is isolated and threatened with violence, coerced into compliance by menacing figures. She realizes the horrifying truth of sexual exploitation.
Have you heard about the once daily pill that can help prevent HIV?
Pre-exposure prophylaxis, also known as PrEP, is a once daily prescription medication that helps you lower your chances of contracting HIV. PrEP may not be for everyone, so speak to your healthcare provider to find out if PrEP is right for you.
PrEP does not prevent pregnancy or other sexually transmitted infections, so it's important to use a condom every time you have sex and to get tested regularly.
PrEP. It's something positive to help keep you HIV negative.
You must be HIV negative to qualify for PrEP, so you need to get tested for HIV immediately before and every 3 months while taking the pill.
So what are you waiting for? Talk to your doctor about your risk of HIV and find out if PrEP is right for you.
Make staying safe a habit. Step up, PrEP up.
In Belize, we value our families, we value our communities,
we value our neighbors. 90% of Belizeans think it's time for laws that protect all of us and reflect society at its best. 94% of Belizeans agree that public spaces in Belize should be more accessible to people living with disabilities. In Belize, we believe in fair treatment and supporting one another. We know that our beautiful country is at its best when we come together for the greater good. 2 out of 3 Belizeans support a new law to prevent discrimination in employment and public spaces. It shouldn't matter where we come from, who we love, or what we look like. Belizeans deserve to live our best lives. It's time for laws that protect all of us and reflect our society at its best. Equal Opportunities Bill. Belize, we're ready.
I am Ronald, lineman lead hand at BL. We are an essential service and we are doing everything we can to make sure that we keep the lights on for our customers.
I work outdoors and my job is to provide safe and reliable power.
Our teams continue to serve communities across Belize.
A team of 23 Peace Corps Belize volunteers were sworn in today to serve as youth development volunteers with the National Sports Council. The group recently completed several weeks of rigorous training in Belize to better understand the country's needs and how best they can contribute. Today, that group officially began their 24 months of service to Belize under a program called Youths Empowered by Sports, or the YES Project. A swearing-in ceremony was held in Belmopan, where we heard from Marvin Utley, the Deputy Director of the National Sports Council, and Nadine Rogers, the Country Director for Peace Corps Belize.
We know they hit the ground running right away, but they have been in training for a period of time, and so they familiarize themselves a lot with what Belize has to offer and what we at the National Sports Council have to offer. So from the chairman, the director, minister, and all our staff of the National Sports Council, we welcome the new cohort, and we expect to have a wonderful working relationship.
The YES Project, Youth Empowered by Sports. It's now over a year old. Some of the volunteers that I swore in back in November, the YES 1 cohort, they're actually here in the room. And I'm so proud of the work that they've been doing in partnership with the National Sports Council, school principals, community partners, and I'm thinking about the support that they offered to the primary school soccer tournament in Orange Walk a few weeks ago. My special words to you are this, or these. First, be focused. This work is rewarding and real. Be kind, be empathetic, be yourself. As a matter of fact, be your best self. Be present. Communities can be changed forever by your contributions, as was the case when a volunteer and a school principal started an NGO to address the impacts of trauma and violence on youth in their community. Or when a staff member named Anthony Williams served for 36 years and forever changed the lives of volunteers, communities, and co-workers.
My name is Katie. I don't want Peace Corps volunteer. Like Bellamy said, we're proud to be here. We're proud of we staff and family and new friends. I'd here to say thank you for all the lessons ala una me teach we.
A single mother of two, Heidi Rivas, received the keys to a brand new, fully furnished home today in Belize City. The house was constructed and furnished through a partnership with God Cares Outreach and the Young Black Leaders Alliance from the United States. It comes as a gift to Rivas and her two sons, who have been sharing space with her mother. She is also being equipped with the necessary tools to start her own business to financially empower her family. News 5's Paul Lopez reports.
Earlier today, Belize City resident Heidi Rivas received the keys to her brand new fully furnished home on Antelope Street Extension. God Cares Outreach in Belize collaborated with the Young Black Leaders Alliance from the United States to bring this project to life.
As an organization, one of our desires is how can we help single mothers in different communities. So in every community that we work with the local church, and we have a strategy which is to reach, connect, impact.
Derek Pitts, the founder of God Cares Outreach, explained that Rivas is very involved in the local church within her community. He told us that she has been volunteering her time over the last 6 years to feed children in impoverished communities. Rivas did not own a house and was living with her mom until today.
And Miss Heidi today believed that she's just receiving a house, but little does she know that it's a fully furnished house. I mean, everything is in there. So when she walks in there, it's a turnkey, I can sleep in my bed kind of thing. We purchased this property, and our plan is to put more than one house on this property. So we'll put at least 2 or 3 of the houses on this property, and then build the house with the furnish and everything. It's running us close to like $60,000.
The amazement on Heidi Rivas' face was priceless when she opened the door to her new home and found that it was fully furnished. She now has a living room area, a kitchen, an indoor bathroom, and 2 bedrooms. The master bedroom is hers. It has been equipped with a sewing machine that she will use to generate income to pay her utility bills. Her 2 sons now have their own room with a bunk bed.
Me and my family will never be the same because of you guys' love and continuous support. Home is a place blessed and where you and your family can be secure and have all you need. Share your sadness and happiness, where you can help each other as a family. I am thankful for the chance to create a warm home for me and my family, and I will always appreciate the kindness and support that made this opportunity possible.
We also heard from a couple of the student ambassadors from the Young Black Leaders Alliance that have been at the site working to build and furnish Rivas' new home.
So the Young Black Leadership Alliance is basically an organization in the U.S. that targets college students, also high school into college students, and building them as leaders, helping us to get scholarships for university, helping us to become service leaders like today, helping us to help others. So we actually have the responsibility as leaders to fundraise, and it's actually a really good skill that they teach us, is how to fundraise, how to communicate, and ask the people in the community around us, like, hey, would you mind helping us to help others? And so we went through a fundraising process for a few months, hit our fundraising goal, and then we were able to come out here and be able to serve.
This is my second time serving here with the Young Black Leadership Alliance. So the first time was a little bit, it was different for me because that was the first time that I actually left my home country to serve in another country. But this time was definitely more personal to me because of where I come from and how fortunate I would be if I were to have received something as similar, if not something great, you know. So just being here at this moment and being able to serve others at this point in my life is just amazing, and I would not trade this experience for anything.
This is the second project that God Cares Outreach and the Young Black Leaders Alliance have collaborated to complete.
It's also adding dignity, but also understanding the work, right? You've got to get some skin in the game. So Miss Heidi had to put in some sweat equity. So she and her boys came and worked on the house, prepared the property. But she's responsible for her own utilities. But even with that, we're providing a business package for Miss so that she and her family could make money. She loves to sew. And so we're teaching her a brand new sewing machine, and we're setting up a business plan behind her sewing skills so that she could gain an income, and she works around at the church and that kind of stuff.
Reporting for News 5, I am Paul Lopez.
Up next, glowing testimonies of Dr. X's humble work.
Greetings. On this World Environment Day 2024, I stand before you as your Minister of Sustainable Development and Climate Change with a message of hope and action. The theme for this year, land restoration, desertification, and drought resilience, calls us to unite in safeguarding our precious land and natural resources. Belize, our home, is facing challenges posed by land degradation, desertification, and drought, threats that require urgent attention and collective effort. It is imperative that we take a stand to protect our environment, for it sustains us all. Together, we can make a difference by promoting sustainable land management practices, engaging in reforestation efforts, and implementing water conservation measures. We can build resilience and ensure a more secure future for our children. Let us commit to being stewards of the land, guardians of our environment. Together, let us work towards a greener, more sustainable Belize. Happy World Environment Day 2024.
Vote for your favorite KTV contestant by texting the number of votes followed by a space, then your contestant's number, and send it to smart code 5885. Here are this week's contestants.
You made me a believer. I'm holding on as you lead me the right way. And now that I'm here with you, que se ha pasado el tiempo en que los años marcan mi cara. When we're tired of all the lies and the pain we feel inside, we want to make it right.
Not someone who has seen the light. It's a cold and it's a broken hallelujah. Oh yes you have. And all my life you have been so, so good.
You're the one that brought me through. Yeah, never would have made it.
How great thou art. How great thou art.
Be exalted, let your name be lifted up forever.
Remember, voting ends on Sunday at midnight. And don't forget to tune in every Tuesday night at 8 for KTV The Remix Season 6. Live only on 5.
This plan, I can't leave this plan. Smart Belize.
Hey there, smart thinkers. We're turbocharging your mobile experience with Smart's powered up postpaid plans. Imagine a world where your data speeds flows faster than ever. Well, guess what? We've cranked up the dial and unleashed the postpaid power of Smart's lightning fast LTE data on all our postpaid plans. That's right, no speed bumps, more data. It's like having a limitless highway of data speed at your fingertips. Whether you're a lone ranger with an individual plan or a squad rolling with a group plan, everyone gets to surf, stream, and share at enhanced, full, high-quality speed. Switch to Smart's powered-up postpaid plans today and ride the wave of postpaid power. Visit any Smart showroom or smart-bz.com for details and make your mobile experience smarter and faster. Smart, bringing people together.
I know I can't let this blind. I can't let this blind.
My name is Leomar Langsert and I'm a teacher and I bank with Belize Bank Independence Branch. What I enjoy is the safety features that the app offers. I have a sense of not having to worry or be concerned about somebody finding my password and username to sign in the application because of the use of the one-time password. And another feature that I love, that I use the most, is how the app synchronizes with my fingerprint on my device. I enjoy the rapid and easy, seamless process to apply for loans through the Belize Bank, and I don't have to be having too much back and forth to visit or take time to visit the bank. They also start to offer the online applications through the app for loan applications, which I believe is very neat. I would definitely recommend Belize Bank to other teachers because one of all the features and advantages that the app offer with these online that Belize Bank offered is basically everything that you can do in the palm of your hand. So I would definitely recommend the bank to other teachers.
This week's Bright Side takes a different approach by highlighting someone who has administered life-saving care for the past 20 years. Dr. Cecilio Eck, affectionately known as Dr. Shrek, has dedicated his life to pediatric care, touching countless lives with his selflessness and compassion. From volunteering with medical organizations to treating daily patients at Coral Grove Medical Center, Dr. Eck's dedication is widely recognized. In 2020, he faced a severe bout of COVID-19, and now, 4 years later, he battles stage 4 cancer. The public has rallied around him once again, offering unwavering support. We spoke with those who have experienced Dr. Shrek's incredible kindness and service. Here are their stories.
Ten-year-old Kaylin Tillett has been under Dr. Eck's care since birth. Like many of his young patients, her experience reflects a common sentiment. Dr. Cecilio Eck, known for his boundless energy, has an uncanny ability to capture the hearts of children the moment they step into his medical office.
One of my favorite days were a time when I went for a checkup and he was being like really goofy with me, and I got a lot of stickers and I got a lollipop.
As a first-time mother a decade ago, Kaylin's mother also felt an immediate connection with Dr. Eck. She recalls how comforting it was to reach out to him whenever she felt anxious about her baby's health, finding reassurance in his acceptance and support.
From day one, we were very comfortable with him, and being a first-time mom, you know that we would have like so many questions, and I needed to have a pediatrician that I felt comfortable with. I could call him at any time and he would not have any type of attitude. Like, I would start off by saying, you know, I'm sorry to be calling you this late. I know it's a Sunday, but Kai has a fever or something is happening. That he has like this spin wheel thing of lollipop that he turns, and it has like so many different options, and the kids just light up right away when they see that. Then he has a book of stickers that he pulls out. I remember my daughter going, and when she left the office, she had stickers like every part of her, all over her face, all over her hands, and she didn't even remember that she was feeling sick.
For the past 20 years, Dr. Eck has dedicated himself to pediatric care. At the Coral Grove Medical Center, his office creates a warm and welcoming environment for his young patients. His stethoscope, embraced by a stuffed animal, symbolizes the comfort he provides as he listens to the tiniest heartbeats. A shelf adorned with a figurine of Disney's Shrek serves as a charming reminder of his nickname, Dr. Shrek, sparking joyful conversations with his patients. These touches are all testament to the sense of safety and trust that Dr. Eck fosters with every child he treats. Dr. Louis Chulin witnesses this magic on a daily basis.
Even I asked Dr. Eck, what are the tricks? Because I want to learn how the kids love you so much. They even call him Dr. Shrek. No, everybody knows Dr. Eck as Dr. Shrek. He has taught me how to deal with certain critical patients as well. No? So even though that I have had some problems initially with dealing with certain types of patients, I would always call him and he would always be there to answer his phone for any other challenges that I might have had.
Dr. Eck is also deeply involved in charitable work, assisting children and families who cannot afford medical care for severe illnesses. He serves as the medical director for the World Pediatrics and the president of Friends of Pediatrics. Milagro Garel of World Pediatrics shares that Dr. Eck's contributions are immeasurable.
He refers all the patients that need tertiary care that is not available otherwise in Belize, and he will guide us and tell us whether that child can receive surgery through one of the teams here in Belize, or the child has to be referred to the regions or to the US. And we can say that on a daily basis, we are calling Dr. Eck 24/7, to the point where he has given so much of himself, where he was the only person that was accompanying every single patient on an airplane, on an air ambulance, just bagging up, giving oxygen and supportive services on a commercial airline, together with the mom to the States. He would go one day, come back the following day with loss of sleep, loss of income.
It's a lot to juggle, and recently, Dr. Eck's lifelong dedication to caring for others has been interrupted as he fights for his own life. Just 4 years after overcoming a severe bout of COVID-19, he now faces a new battle with an unexpected diagnosis of stage 4 cancer. What would you want the viewers to know about Dr. Eck as a person outside of the profession? You mentioned he's a friend.
Yes, he is a friend indeed. That Dr. Eck is always willing to help, even in cases that, certain cases that there is a need to go that extra mile, he will do, not the extra mile, he would go 10 miles, not an extra mile for any patient.
So I feel like he has done so much for Belize and for the children of Belize. He's irreplaceable.
So Dr. Eck is no millionaire. Lots of people have the perception that every physician is full of money, has a lot of, but not Dr. Eck. He does not have lots of funds or extra funds besides what COVID did to their pocket and to their income and financial status. So I believe that it was our responsibility, and that was the least that we could do, to try at least to assist him in some way, to ask the community to come together for him, because now it is the time to give back to someone who has given his entire life to the well-being of the children and the community of Belize.
Dr. Eck has begun his fight against cancer by departing the country in search of medical answers from other practitioners abroad. At home, his community has started a powerful movement to support him through this costly journey. From organizing charitable donations to hosting events in his honor, everyone Dr. Eck has touched is rallying behind him. And the little people he has impacted are also pitching in, sending heartfelt words of encouragement and special prayers of healing. When we stopped at his office today, we even saw a special delivery dropped off from a patient named Austin. Like the rest of us, written on his letter is a resounding message.
What do you think people should know about Dr. Eck?
He's funny and kind, and I think that he's going to get better soon.
Looking on the bright side, I'm Sabrina Daly.
And that's the news. Tonight's broadcast is available at channel5belize.com on both our Facebook and YouTube pages. I'm Elise Gayon Vernon, and from all of us here at Channel 5, have a happy and safe weekend. Good night.